Li Qiolong's face showed killing intent, his confidence unwavering, as if he were planning something major. In an ancient secret realm. There were dark caves here. And massive stone arches leading to the sky and distant mountaintops. Huang Hongchuan was busy recording text, constantly marveling, the secret method on the wall looks very profound. She excitedly said, I'll copy it down and take it back to my husband, I'm sure he'll be very pleased. After speaking, she turned to Hanju's avatar and unknowingly asked, Can my husband hear my thoughts? Suddenly, Huang Hongchuan heard the sound of unfamiliar footsteps. Her expression became cautious as she looked around. It turned out that the person was a cultivator, his expression extremely melancholic. He looked at Huang Hongchuan with hollow eyes. Facing Huang Hongchuan's vigilance, he spoke to reassure her, There's no need to be so cautious, little friend. I'm just here to pay respects and learn the method. After speaking, he leisurely began touching the stone wall, completely unconcerned with Huang Hongchuan. At this point, Huang Hongchuan was still filled with doubts. Looking at him, he doesn't seem to be here for the first time. Perhaps this person discovered the cliff long before I did. The atmosphere became eerily quiet, sending a chill down the spine. At this moment, Hanju, through his avatar, also understood the situation in the cave. His face showed a hint of concern, but it wasn't severe. He silently pondered, It seems this person has no ill intentions, no need to worry too much, but it's better to stay cautious. Suddenly, a black crow flew over, catching Hanju's attention. It turned out that there was something tied to its foot, making him wonder, is this a voice transmission jade slip? But the problem arose, Hanju had never used this before, how do I use it now? Before Hanju could think it through, the scroll suddenly emitted a blinding light. Huang Jihao's face appeared, Zhanshan Elder, I have figured it out. At this point, Hanju was only concerned about what happened to Huang Lao to make him like this. Huang Jihao continued, the 19th sect attacked Yuqing sect, and this matter is related to the Wei family. I'm fine, don't worry about me. As soon as he finished speaking, the light faded, leaving Hanju in confusion. The system panel displayed, Huang Jihao encountered many attacks but fortunately escaped. After seeing this, Hanju sighed, so he's fine, why was I worried? He was surprised by Su Qi, wherever he goes. It gets destroyed. Looks like the luck of the former emperor's heirs is really too strong. The Wei family was able to severely injure Huang Jihao. I still need to find out more about this family. Thinking of this, Hanju immediately went to find Li Qingzi for information. When Li Qingzi heard the name Wei family, his expression subtly changed. Hanju continued, Senior brother must know the Wei family, right? Li Qingzi did not deny it, the Wei family of Dian is not too famous, they only have a Yuaning cultivator. But the Wei family has many beauties and has alliances with various places. Their business network is even considered the largest outside of Dian. He said this while showing a twisted expression, do you want a woman too? Hanju still asked sharply, could this be something the Wei family is secretly behind? Li Qingzi immediately denied it, the Wei family doesn't have such patience. Besides, they have a good relationship with Yuqing sect. But Hanju didn't think so, with extensive resources, anything is possible. So, who is the head of the Wei family? Li Qingzi only knew that the head had changed, but he wasn't sure who it was. After hearing this, Hanju reassured him, I will make sure he stays safe. At this moment, Jingxi also reminded Li Qingzi to take his medicine. Hanju stood by the railing inside, old grudges unresolved, new grudges arrive. The more I think about it, the more frustrated I get. If I knew who was behind it, I could have avenged it already. He couldn't swallow this anger, so he decided to vent it on two names, Xiao Yi and Li Qiolong. I cursed Xiao Yi last week, now it's time for the other one. Hanju's face gradually lost its humanity as he awaited the events to unfold. In a secret room, Li Qiolong had been diligently cultivating for a long time and finally showed signs of a breakthrough. He was overjoyed, almost blooming with happiness. If this breakthrough succeeds, the chances of success will be even greater. Suddenly, Li Qiolong stopped, feeling a sharp pain coming from somewhere. He immediately vomited blood, accompanied by continuous coughing. Li Qiulong screamed in pain. I was so close to success. How could this go wrong? His gaze gradually became desperate. If this continues, when will I ever overthrow Yuqing sect? But he still comforted himself. Forget it, it's almost time, let's stick to the plan. After saying that, Li Qiulong walked towards the dimly lit Ascension Bridge. Over here, there was an extremely magnificent city. The people inside were holding a lively banquet, and as soon as they saw Li Qiulong, they hurriedly asked about his cultivation progress. Someone pulled him to join the banquet, completely ignoring the displeased expression on his face. At this moment, Li Qiulong, taking advantage of everyone being present, spoke up and announced, "This time, the Wei family and I have paid a huge price. Our goal is to invite a cultivator of the Void Refinement Realm to help us completely eliminate Yuqing sect." After hearing this, everyone expressed doubt. Li Qiulong continued, "We previously investigated, and Yuqing sect's ancestor, Zhenjuan Jioding, has gone far away by sea. Right now, their strongest member is the Zhanshan Elder." As soon as he finished speaking, his eyes became determined. "Is anyone here interested in joining me to exterminate Yuqing sect?" The atmosphere became extremely quiet, as it seemed that everyone hadn't fully believed Li Qiulong yet. He then reassured them that Senior will leave once the task is completed, and after destroying Yuqing sect. The Wei family only needs Yuqing sect's secret realm and will no longer be involved in the conflict. As soon as Li Qiulong finished speaking, everyone present immediately agreed to join him, and the previous doubts were swept away. On the surface, it appeared so, but in his heart, he was plotting carefully. "Once I destroy Yuqing sect, I will ask that Senior to eliminate all of you." While he was scheming, a sudden intense pain surged through him. Li Qiulong spat out blood, his heart roaring in anger. "Who the hell is playing with me?" Meanwhile, Hanju was completely unaware, just absent-mindedly asking himself, still no response? Unknowingly, 3 years passed. Hanju's friends encountered many things during this time. Some fell into the devil's path, some were attacked continuously, and Su Qi had a fortunate encounter that led him to comprehend divine abilities. In the second layer of the Void Refinement Realm, he was extremely shocked. How did Chu Fan fall into the devil's path too? This shouldn't be the traditional skill of Tianlei Peak. Even the Peak Master's disciples have suffered. It seems that Yuefeng is really better. Suddenly, the Chaos Celestial Dog appeared from somewhere, calling out to him. It turned out that it had been bored from staying there for so long and wanted to go out and train. Hanju immediately refused upon hearing this. "You are a divine beast. If your identity is exposed, people will covet you. Moreover, since we are not at Yuqing sect, it will be hard for me to protect you." Ignoring the advice, the Chaos Celestial Dog still eagerly said, "But I just feel that there's some opportunity waiting for me out there." Faced with its persistence, Hanju could only ask again, "Are you really sure? Once you are attacked, whether by the righteous or the demonic path, I will not intervene to save you." The Chaos Celestial Dog, upon hearing this, not only wasn't afraid but even became somewhat confident. "I think they should be the ones worried." It turned out that Hanju was overthinking. The Chaos Celestial Dog had already become incredibly strong. At this moment, he was sweating profusely, realizing he had been too careless and hadn't noticed the changes in its appearance. The Chaos Celestial Dog immediately comforted him, saying, "Master, don't worry. I'll be careful and take a stroll outside before coming back." It kept licking Hanju, making him mutter angrily, "I wish I could give it a sword strike." Hanju clearly knew that with the Chaos Celestial Dog's nature, even if I don't agree, it will run out one day anyway. It's better to just let it go. The journey to the secret realm finally began. Hanju bid farewell to the Chaos Celestial Dog, which responded with a single bark. He was about to remind it again, but in the blink of an eye, the Chaos Celestial Dog had already run far away, leaving Hanju behind, thinking, "Little dog, you'll wait and see how the world teaches you a lesson." At this point, he could only pray for the Chaos Celestial Dog and comfort himself. It's a luck beast. It's hard for it to die. The black-eyed chicken suddenly appeared from somewhere and called out to him. Hanju could no longer maintain his calm and shouted angrily, "Do you want to go too?" The black-eyed chicken hurriedly explained, "How could I go outside? I'd turn into fried chicken." The black-eyed chicken then shyly said, I came to ask if the master could teach me cultivation or some life-saving techniques. Hanju then remembered that the black-eyed chicken had a life-bound technique but lacked divine powers. He decided it was time to teach it some skills. Hanju looked at it expectantly and said, I'll first teach you the heavenly and earthly techniques. He secretly thought to himself, this was a good opportunity to prove that the effects of closed-door cultivation were no worse than going outside. The black-eyed chicken smugly thought, the chaos celestial dog didn't expect this. The moment it leaves, I'll come to secretly learn divine powers from the master. Next time I see it, I'll smash its head with my chicken head. The scene shifted to a bustling town. Suchi walked among the crowd, his face thoughtful. He thought to himself, am I unlucky or fortunate all these years? Suchi's life had been full of ups and downs. He had once caught the eye of a young lady, but her whole family fell ill with the plague, and he alone miraculously survived. Then, he was chased by a demonic cultivator and almost killed by a distant strike. He had to use all his strength to escape. Unfortunately, he then encountered the lair of a legendary demonic beast. The demonic cultivator immediately perished, and it seemed that luck always followed Suchi. Wherever he stepped, there was always a life and death test waiting for him, but he could always overcome danger, unlike others who weren't so lucky. He had witnessed too much human suffering and felt powerless, growing more and more frustrated. In the end, he could only sigh, in this world, we are too fragile. Maybe the result of the mission is not as important as having experienced human suffering. He finally understood what his master meant. While lost in thought, he accidentally bumped into a woman's chest. The woman immediately shouted, Are you crazy? Do you want my body? Suchi hurriedly apologized, but it was too late. The woman refused to accept Suchi's apology and yelled, I've been treated so improperly. Who would dare marry me now? No matter how much Suchi tried to explain. She drew her sword without hesitation, and Suchi, surprised, became enraged and lost his temper. The woman rushed towards Suchi without hesitation, angrily shouting, Die. Suchi was so scared that he stood still, unable to react in time. Unexpectedly, luck once again fell upon the little boy as she stepped on a banana peel. The sound of her fall shook the entire town. Suchi also breathed a sigh of relief and quietly left, as expected, my master is secretly helping me. Otherwise, how could I be so lucky? Truly worthy of being my master. Meanwhile, Li Qianlong had arrived at Yuling sect and provocatively said, Didn't expect this, Yuling sect, here I come. After speaking, he turned to Wei Yuan and asked, How is the senior? Wei Yuan frowned and answered, I just used my divine sense to check. Yuling sect only has one person at the God transformation realm, and it seems that person is injured. Li Qianlong showed a sinister expression, scheming, the elder of God slaying is injured, that's great. Wei Yuan curiously asked, Did you bring someone to deal with this sect matter? Qianlong lowered his head, grabbed his hair, and said apologetically, Sorry to trouble the senior later. Wei Yuan remained dignified, a bunch of small fries, it's nothing. With Wei Yuan's support, Li Qianlong loudly ordered his army, charge forward. The first person to break into Yuling sect will receive a great reward. Upon hearing this, everyone was inspired and charged forward together. Meanwhile, Hanju also received a notification from the system about the attack. He could choose to flee or return to protect Yuling sect. Without hesitation, he chose to stay and protect the sect. Hanju's gaze was sharp, and he immediately said, Wei Yuan is from Xiuan continent, at the first layer of Void Transformation Realm, and is the vice-sect master of Jiulong sect. The system immediately returned the result, trial complete, target defeated. Time, 3 seconds. At this moment, Wei Yuan had already fallen without Hanju noticing when it happened. A report came from outside the main hall, 19 sects are attacking the eastern gate, and the guards request to strengthen the protective formation. The southern gate needs resupply of consumables. Inside, a subordinate continued reporting, and from the northern realm of the 10,000 demons, an elder's voice was heard, This is now a critical moment. Everyone curiously asked, Sect leader, senior brother, why aren't you worried? Even if we don't flee, shouldn't we send disciples to fight? Li Qingzi smiled and confidently replied, why hurry? It's just a small matter. Someone, sweating heavily, questioned, could it be Elder of God slaying? After understanding what the other meant, Li Qingzi said, yes, the Elder of God slaying decided to face 19 sects alone. First, to reduce the casualties among the disciples. After a pause, Li Qingzi continued, second, because these 19 sects are not acting separately, probably because they're afraid of being ambushed. Which is perfect for Elder of God slaying to eliminate them all in one go. Someone hesitantly asked, does he have confidence? He answered excitedly, don't worry. Elder of God slaying has said that now he can compete with the ancestor. And he dares to make this guarantee, so he is absolutely confident. This is a heaven-sent opportunity. Hearing this, everyone felt relieved and praised the education of Sichuan. At this moment, in the back mountain, Hanju rubbed his neck and muttered, I've been cultivating for too long, my neck feels a little sore. Suddenly, a sound came, catching his attention, Master, you're finally out. Hanju turned and saw the black-eyed chicken carrying a large bundle, urging, let's go quickly, I'm all packed. He thought helplessly, the black-eyed chicken is also a part of my reincarnation. He wasn't in a hurry and coldly said, don't worry, a bunch of chickens and dogs, what's there to run from? The black-eyed chicken stared in surprise, not quite understanding Hanju's meaning. But as soon as he finished speaking, he flew out. Only a wisp of smoke was left behind, and the black-eyed chicken, surrounded by dust, thought, was Master scolding me just now? He rode his sword and flew like the wind, heading straight for the enemy. Someone loudly reported, ahead is Yuling sect. They're doomed, still protecting Zhou Fan and Mo Fujio. Truly sinners of the righteous path. Looking at the figure standing on the rock, everyone discussed in whispers, is that Elder Wei Yuan? Is he really a great cultivator? At the God transformation realm? Shut up, we can't discuss such strong cultivators, this battle will be recorded in history. Li Qianlong saw someone flying over and immediately said, Elder, the people from Yuling sect are here. Wei Yuan secretly activated his divine sense to check Hanju and saw he was only at the 9th layer of the Foundation establishment realm. He disdainfully thought he was weak, but when he looked closely, he found that all of Hanju's treasures were spiritual artifacts, which greatly surprised him. Li Qianlong sneered beside him, saying, Yuling sect is afraid, they only sent one person to die. Wei Yuan didn't care about these words. He was thinking about how he only had one spiritual artifact, and he had to fight hard to obtain it. He questioned, isn't this person the true immortal of 9 cauldrons? Li Qianlong speculated, he should be a peace envoy. He's overseas, it's impossible for him to arrive so quickly. Now the Eastern sect is in trouble, so he probably doesn't have time to care about Yuling sect. Upon hearing this, Wei Yuan seemed to realize, no wonder he's covered in defensive treasures, he must be afraid we'll vent our anger on him. Hanju quickly flew in front of the two, landing steadily. Li Qianlong immediately spoke up, Yuling sect actually only sent one person, really arrogant. Hanju sized him up and then asked, You're Li Qianlong, right? This sentence shocked him greatly, and he thought, such overwhelming pressure, how does he know? I've been very careful in keeping this information secret. Then, he secretly transmitted a message to Wei Yuan, something's wrong. Senior, please take action and eliminate this person. Wei Yuan replied with some worry, he didn't react to my suppressive force, his strength must be considerable. He's probably not from Yuling sect. Li Qianlong speculated, this person is most likely the Elder of God slaying. I heard he's the youngest elder in Yuling sect's history, and he seems to be under 300 years old. Upon hearing this, Wei Yuan silently calculated, under 300 years, that would mean he's at most in the early God transformation realm. To withstand my suppressive force, he must be relying on spiritual artifacts. After thinking this, Wei Yuan confidently said, in that case, will Elder of God slaying dare to fight me? Before he had finished speaking, Hanju swiftly struck first. He sneered to himself, wondering where this person got his confidence and decided to attack directly. Wei Yuan was still in shock, unable to believe what had just happened.